What is going on, everybody? Welcome to NBA Lindy's Live. I am, of course, Eric Lindquist. You can call me Lindy. We are live here on the Odd Shopper channel, and I am going to be breaking down for the next 30 minutes bets I'm thinking about making. And I just made one over at Tails that I do kind of want to highlight because, one, I do think it's kind of interesting. It doesn't come from the NBA Lindy's video, and it's just something I've been thinking about a lot today, and a lot of sharp people I respect have really come on to him as well. So why don't we just start with a bet and just start breaking some stuff down here as we start to get some of these starting lineups, such as, I don't know, things I can do like over on my Twitter lists. And let's just pull this up. First off, had an awesome opportunity to go hit a golf ball around with my high school golf coach. I'm back home. It's very nice, very lovely. There we are. My dad, my little brother, high school golf coach. Really, really fun day, obviously. Just full of Diet Coke. So shout out me for being a real one. But we're going to talk about some bets that I'm thinking about making here as the night begins. And then, well, I don't know why Bing is like set on Google Chrome here for whatever. I updated all of my stuff and it's just become an absolute joke. But we have dunks and threes. We have add more funds, which I'm going to be breaking down some of the stuff. And of course, basketball monster, where we're going to see some of these lineups start to populate as we got Davion Mitchell officially starting for the Miami Heat. That is what it is. And Jalen Suggs as well. Jalen Suggs, I don't know. But I was going to start off with a bet. This usually just goes out to the people in the VIP as I break things down. But Walter Clayton Jr. From the Florida National Championship team, Walter Clayton Jr., I think there's a lot of opportunities for Utah guys, especially the backcourt with no Isaiah Collier. Walter Clayton Jr. officially likes to shoot the basketball. I think he's actually going to be pretty proficient at doing it. Oh, here we go. Cleveland, exact starting lineup that we were expecting. They did start Jalen Tyson, Sam Merrill. So this will go yellow here in a second. So these are the kind of things that I'm able to do on a video like this because this is what I'm doing when I'm in the comfort of my own home, or in this case, my childhood home. I'm looking for bets. I'm constantly trying to assess what should I be firing, what should I not be. Lindy, that is me, Seth Whaley. Shout out everybody for coming and kicking it here. Lynn go, yeah, that's me. Hello. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Got to get the homie Duke first. I know. I miss him so much. It's been like a day, and I'm already just like, what do I do at 5:30 a.m.? I'm usually walking my dog. Mr. Lindy, where you at, brother? I'm ready to sweat some betskis with you. Oh, we've got all the bets locked and loaded. And as we go along, one, I'm going to improve this process. Two, I think we're going to be able to kind of track the bets together here as we put them together from this program and from the premium Discord. And three, I think we're going to have a lot of fun sweating because I'm a psychopath. Officially, the psycho. If you have questions about bets that you're looking at making, a lot of things that I'm utilizing on a day-to-day basis, we have our NBA simulated-based statistical projections over at Stochastic. We have projections for absolutely every single player. I like to go to the tippy-top range and see kind of who's projected for the most minutes. One thing that did happen, we had Jaden McDaniels early in the morning, right around the 37-minute mark. That's starting to get trimmed down. I'm pretty confident Anthony Edwards is playing basketball tonight, and we're going to get injury news constantly throughout this program. It's kind of why I wanted to debut it on a 12-gamer as opposed to like something so straightforward, but we'll pull up Underdog NBA. I think that's what a lot of people utilize for the most part, and you should be. If you don't have notifications turned on here, you're kind of doing it wrong. We have the news god as well over at Stochastic, who's keeping people apprised of everything that's happening from an injury-based perspective. But first one, Cavs, Mitchell, Merrill, Jalen Tyson, Mobley, Allen. Again, wanted to be able to fire that up. Jalen Tyson tops that because this is a guy that, generally speaking, over on the Cleveland side, isn't all that involved. You go back to last season, which again, that's the only data range I'm going to be utilizing here on NBA Wowie. This is add more funds. Shout out them for being real ones. But I like to take guys who are just absolutely not going to share the floor with them, like Ty Jerome off the floor because he doesn't play for Cleveland anymore. And this is what I'm constantly doing throughout the day, throughout the night, covering everything. Knicks money line. That's an interesting one. That's kind of an interesting one. Good one about the GOAT pick. What did I do? In the house we love. And a prop I found interesting. Wemby under 10.5 boards. We'll go through that one because I do think there's a lot going on with Derek Lively and Anthony Davis. I am on the Dallas spread. I bet that. That was actually my first bet I made, period, yesterday. Ended up firing that up. It sat right around that -2, -2.5, -2, -2.5. We'll take a look on that. We'll update NBA Lindy's props as well. We'll be able to take a look at it and see what I got wrong, what I got right, what I can improve on, and we'll be all set. Holy smokes, Lindy is live. Oh, you best believe I am. And you best believe that I am here to fucking stay. We're going to be making some money together here in the NBA streets. Part of why I wanted to get off of NBA Live before lock this year is that I feel as though I have better utility for you in the betting streets, to be able to help you make money actively, and we can do it together. Again, it doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter how you live. Well, actually it does, don't be a dick. You have an opportunity to make money in your state, whether that's Profit X, No Vig, exchanges, Kalshi, that's becoming a big one as well, or whether that's the traditional DraftKings, FanDuel, everything else. I drive 5 minutes down the road, I'm in Iowa. 5 minutes back over, I'm in South Dakota. Completely different set of sports books, and it's awesome to be able to have exposure to both of them as I begin this voyage because, well, 5 a.m. came quick this morning. That alarm went off. And I was over there with coffee and I was ready to rock. And again, I'll be back in my Arizona base, back in my California base. We're going to have lots of bases to cover here on this program. Brunson PRA, we'll take a look at that here as well. But let's start with the Jalen Tyson piece because I've been thinking about him in a normal lot for a guy that I don't think many people are all that aware of. 23 minutes, some of his rates as you're working through them and starting to piece it together. I took Ty Jerome off the floor because, again, he doesn't play for this basketball team anymore. Neither does Isaac Okoro, but he's such a low usage guy. His impact is going to be pretty minimal, especially in something like PRA where I'm trying to set a baseline and then going individual statistics. I've set this up on Add More Funds. You can kind of do your own settings, but I like to do it per 100 just because I look at it, 100 possessions. Most games are going to project for just over that from an offensive perspective for that team, but you're going to get really good baselines. You're going to have a really good idea of where to start as you're digging into a specific player. But Jalen Tyson, higher usage guy, 20.8% usage with no Ty Jerome on the floor. Effective field goal percentage was pretty awful last season, but you see that early on in careers, and so we can set baselines a little bit higher. Plus a 90% free throw shooter. If he can just get there, that'd be useful. Adding a little bit in terms of assists and rebounds, but here's where my Jalen Tyson issue kind of comes in. Let's have him share the floor with Donovan Mitchell. Let's have him share the floor with Darius Garland. Let's have him share the floor with, rounding it all out, I mean, we're getting no sample size. I don't know what the push and pull effect is going to be with Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Tyson on the floor, but this doesn't feel great. I know it's a 40-minute sample, but you know he's going to be taking a backseat to these guys. You just know that that's going to be the case. And he's already at 15.5 juice. There's not really a lot for it to go. I do think it's actually a pretty interesting pick and play for the people over at Prize Picks. I think it's okay for pick six, but in terms of -120, -125, I just kind of want to be staying away for the most part. We have a projected right now 4.5. You add that to 8.5, that becomes 13.5, and 15.5 looks pretty efficient in 23 minutes. That's going to be a volatile range here as we begin off the season. I'm going to update when I'm back in my home base a lot of my personal spreadsheets. We'll be able to share that and go along. But Sam Merrill out there for shooting purposes. Jalen Tyson, no DeAndre Hunter, no Darius Garland, no Max Strus. Lots of minutes available here at the 3 for the most part. Between Wade off the bench, it's one that a lot of sharp people I respect have also been on here today that just can't necessarily get there here at the moment. No offense for your Timberwolves, but Blazers sprinkle. I thought about this a lot too. Let's bring that up. Actually, I think there were a couple of other ones that I needed to touch on first. Cat playing, as far as I know, yes. This has been the dumbest injury report day that I can ever remember. And I played 9 holes of golf and then had lunch after and then came over and just started running NBA for the last hour and a half. I will say this. There's no question in my mind that this is some of the dumbest shit ever. McCourty starting in place of Mitchell Robinson. Great. Karl Anthony Towns will play barring unforeseen circumstances. I'll break everything if he doesn't. I will actually break everything in my childhood bedroom. I'll look like it's Baz doing it. I don't feel bad, but a couple of the main pieces of news that we're going to be keeping an eye on for the next 50 minutes as I am with you. Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Jaylen Brown, we did get news, is officially playing. That came through as I was beginning this show 7 minutes ago. So that was cool to get that early, but we're going to be checking in on this as well. If you also don't follow any of my Twitter lists, please do. I have beat writers. I have football only. I have NBA DFS news, which again is more applicable to the stochastic side of things. That's usually what I have up when you see me on NBA Live Before Lock. You can see those are all pinned directly to my feed so that I can go to my profile and I can literally go about them and about my merry way because it's very, very important. But I'm going to keep Underdog up here just while we're moving along with this. We did get the Ben Seraph piece. So funny. He's like the guy that I was paying the most attention to. He's far more ready for the Brooklyn Nets. And I've been waiting for his props to drop like all day long. I had like a 33% assist rate in the preseason. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's totally fine. Yeah, we're still waiting for his props. And now we'll probably get them. These are the things that we can attack at open because we have projections on him. The industry does not. Pretty low. 21 minutes here. Now, there were a couple of pieces that Brooklyn was looking at starting. Again, just go with my brain as we're doing this. It's going to get crazy at times, but Ben Seraph, starting coach's decision. Usually that means somebody was expected. Igor Demon was the guy who was expected to be like your starting point guard, starting ball handler of some capacity. He's so bad bringing the ball up the floor that I totally understand this. Now, he's the number 8 pick, and yet they're going to start a guy who was in the 20s in Ben Seraph here. But you might have noticed, like Ben Seraph, 6'6", he's got handles. He's been playing professional ball for a long, long time. So that is something you want to definitely keep apprised of. Are the Cavs going to beat the Knicks? I don't think so. Let's pull up the spread here and where we're sitting at. So if you're not familiar with dunks and threes, this is one I use a lot for my personal projections, just because I really like the push and pull effect that I can have on trying to influence spread and do it in a way where I'm keeping the minutes somewhat in check. And I don't know if you've noticed this, I can be dramatic at times. So I will let that be known. But the Karl Anthony Towns thing has been weird. If you're just tuning in, he went from doubtful to questionable to now he's just like expected to play, and we're just supposed to act like none of this ever happened. But we got Brown taking over the team here for Thibodeau, and I'm not sure what to make of this offense. I didn't love the Karl Anthony Towns press conference, and I touched on that a little bit during NBA Lindy's. 30 minutes for a baseline here. Pretty chill one. They've currently got the probability score and the spread pretty much in check of where it's been. It's been kind of like in that 1.5 range all the live long day. 2.5, I think, was like the widest that I saw it at. Let's take a look and check in what we got going. Yeah, 1.5 available in no fig. And I think it's pretty efficient. I think we kind of stay away. This is in the Garden. It's going to be a high octane one, and not to go on like a no ball tangent, but kind of no ball. Pull up ESPN here too while we're at it. Going through some of these. The New York Knickerbockers, here we go. Looking at some of the preseason numbers for it, there were some interesting things to pay attention to, specifically Jalen Brunson, Clarkson alongside Kolek, Cal Bridges. Notice Karl Anthony Towns is at 20.8% usage. I don't love that in sample size of a new offense and kind of what we're looking at. There's just some difficulties that I have. If it will do it live, yes. What are your favorite player props? Probably the things that I've bet already. So let's go to when Eric ventured to Iowa earlier today. And if you're not familiar, this is Tails. This is the future. This is where we're going to be able to have people like, myself, update both VIP and give out some goodies for the people for free. Everything that they got going in the betting world. We got leaderboards. We got so much good stuff coming your way. But obviously, should probably unpin this post because it's from the 20th. That'd be a good idea, Eric. But super sneaky player of the day. I really like this Dario Saric one. So if we want to start breaking down why I landed on Dario Saric, 14.5 points plus rebounds plus assists, played it even money over at DraftKings. Here is kind of your reason. Sacramento Kings are going to be starting in their front court. I'm going to go over here to this. So as we're bouncing around, we got the Sacramento Kings. Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Drew Eubanks, your starting group. But the Drew Eubanks minutes, we saw this in Portland at times. They're very volatile. And I think Dario Saric, whether it was Golden State, Denver, not that he got a raw deal because he's not some elite basketball player, but his baseline numbers are a lot higher than you might expect for a guy who hasn't really been prevalent at the NBA level here. And it's just because Domantas Sabonis is out. He's pretty good offensively. Defensively, they've been struggling a little bit here. These are just basically points per 100 possessions, offensive defensive rating here. But Dario Saric, 73.5% effective field goal percentage on just 15.6% usage. He was getting a lot done in very minimal minutes in the preseason. And you might notice Drew Eubanks down here. Look how they got hammered over the course of 15 minutes per game in the preseason. It's not the say-all and end-all. But we see coaches overreact to small sample sizes all the time. And so I really want you paying attention to stuff like that where, it's not what I think the coaches would do, but what are the coaches actually going to do? So I really like the Dario Saric play. We can start off with that. All right. So we're scrolling down our merry way. Dario Saric played that for a half unit, over 14 and a half. And again, your boy was up 10 hours ago. I've been up forever to get NBA updated. And obviously, it's very nice to have the best of the best at Stochastic updating all of our stuff here throughout the day. So on a day like today where I didn't necessarily get to update all of my sheets the way that I want to, I'm still able to get some action down, still able to do everything that I need to do to be accountable to my Discord and accountable to you on this show as we start to break it down. But the Dario Saric one, I think there's a lot of ways where he just closes over Drew Eubanks. So kind of closing the loop on that, kind of what I broke down here for the most part. I have a north of the 25-minute number, and I feel pretty confident about that. Hey, a spread. Talked about that one already. Dallas, -2. Really, really good stuff. It's just weird to me to have a team that's 25-1 to win a championship and a team that's 60-1 to win a championship play each other, and you're on the 25-1 home championship. You're on their home court. And all of a sudden, we're just looking at -2. And I like dunks and threes a lot, like a lot, when it comes to breaking down these specific spots. They were a little bit wide. I'm a little bit wider, sitting more in like the 5 mark. Victor Wembanyama coming back from the blood clots. I think this is just a really good spot. And Dylan Harper, interesting piece, not really sure what to make of him, is kind of the guy that I think comes off the bench. They've currently, in their projections, got him starting. I don't think that's the case. I think we get Julian Champagnie, and I think we get a lot more than the 18 minutes that they have as his baseline. It's just not very good. Like Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, you can see these minutes. These are very conservative minutes projections that they're rolling out. So I do like that one here quite a bit. I like Jakob Poeltl over 7.5 points tonight. Ooh, see, these are things that I like to start with. Let's throw this in over on Stochastic. This is a good baseline for me. Holy shit, we are playing this immediately. Who threw that in there? Who threw that in there? My guy, Bank of Dennis. You're awesome. You're always awesome on X as well. I remember names. I remember people. These are really, really good situations. I am going to find this and immediately bet it. This is our first official bet. Why is he so low? What's going on? What's the official number on Jakob Poeltl? 10.5. It's different than, did you say 7.5? It's very different. Like 7.5 points. Well, he's not 7.5. We're talking rebounds? What's his rebound prop at? For those who aren't familiar, this Toronto lineup and this spread freaked me the fuck out. 5.5, 237. Look at his starting 5. Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, who played, I thought, pretty well last season. Brandon Ingram, who was hurt all of last season. Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl. Those are 5 serviceable NBA players playing against Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. Risa Shea, do we see a step up for him this year? I bet we do, but Jalen Johnson, the minutes a little questionable. Kristaps Porzingis, this is a lot of love on the Atlanta side. It's starting to get wider and wider. I'm curious where dunks and threes kind of land on this one as well. I'll tweak around with some minutes too if we can there. Yeah, I had a feeling that they were going to probably be inside of that number ever so slightly, but box score, it's a pretty conservative minutes, but probably in line with what we've got. Grady Dick, Agbaji are definitely going to still be in that rotation. They don't have Chris Boucher, not that they ever cared about him whatsoever, but Jonathan Mogbo and Sandro Mamukashvili, they'll be two guys who kind of clean up a little bit of duty here for Jakob Poeltl, but I think his minutes are more secure than like, do you really want to push Brandon Ingram right from the jump? How many minutes did he play per game in the preseason? I'm looking through this Poeltl thing now. This Poeltl one's going to be interesting. Played the most minutes of anybody in the preseason per game. Are you kidding me? This is fascinating. This is fascinating. These are the rabbit holes we can go down. Yeah, what book is 7.5? 7.5 is not a thing. Pete Shepard, that quickly assist prop earlier was broken on DK. Well, plus 105, 5.5 was crazy. Pete is one of the best people. Like, he's newer in the Discord, but I really respect his analysis. He asks me a lot of questions, and boy, do I like when people ask me questions because, well, it makes me feel like I'm doing something and being helpful. And overall, that's kind of what I'm here to do. Otherwise, I would just bet millions of dollars over on the sideline by myself, but I'm betting like hundreds of dollars over on the sideline. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're going to jump on that. All right. This is our first official post from NBA Lindy's. Let me see. ESPN. Let me see what Novig has it at here because I got to go back across. Oh, my God. That's a pretty wide number. All right. What can I post this at and get it sniped? I get plus 102 in my life? That'd be great. All right, somebody watched Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks because Brandon Miller's also been bugging me like crazy. This one could get really, really fun. Brandon Miller is one of those guys who overall, I think the pace is going to come up for sure for Charlotte this year. You get LaMelo Ball back in our lives, and this one starts pretty soon. Can we get Ben Seraph props like now? I need Ben Seraph props. Said nobody ever until today. That's what opening day will do. What the fuck? Oh my God. All right, this is straight on nuke action. Got it. All right, I'm going to post this. I might get some action on this. All right. First official play now, Ben Seraph. I posted minus 120 on Novig. So it's about 10 cents higher. You guys saw what we have him projected for, right? This, I don't think, is actually high enough. So 21 minutes, very volatile, but he's the more NBA-ready point guard between the two. We'll get Ben Seraph starting over Igor. And Igor is going to be a nice piece for what it's worth. It's just Brooklyn has nothing to play for, and I think we could see like a 24-24 type split. They could share the floor together a little bit together. Igor's very tall, by the way, 6'8". Yeah, this is one of those things where we saw Brooklyn run some wonky, ridiculous, stupid, no reason for it explanation. Oh, it got picked up. All right, there we go. Ben Seraph over 2.5 assists. There we go. We got some action down on it. I got minus 120, but we'll see. That one felt pretty good. All right, Jalen Duren over 13.5 points. For those who remember last season, remember when we got plus 260 opening night for Jared Duren, double-double? Like minus 170. I took a look at it just because I knew I was going to just feel smart for a day. I was like, you know what? Even if I lose every bet today, which, by the way, I went 2-0 yesterday, I'm going to make sure that I remember the Jaren Duren times. The Jaren Duren times were such good times. Jalen Duren, spelled his name wrong, -150, double-double. Try to piece it together. Sometimes you can get better for like 10 and 10, combining them. FanDuel, I think, has found some kind of provisions against it. I've been building more and more, like going to DK, trying to piece together like ways of putting single game parlays where they're maybe not necessarily picking it up. Duren, they definitely still nuked in a lot of ways. So like we can pull that up here later. But before we get to lock, I do want to try to get another bet or two down for us so that we can sweat these together. At $55 down together. Anyone else see a black screen? No. I hope not. That would really suck. Nobody else sees a black screen, right? Sorry, I was looking at the guy below him on the list. Yeah, 10.5 is line. We're not going to do that at -125 for what it's worth. I just did kind of the conversion. So when you're looking at points props like this, a couple of things to keep in mind, or at least what I've noticed in my experience from the last few years, is that, well, I guess it's not Duren. I just had him on the mind. Just type in the Pirtle number. Right now, Pirtling up for the Pirtle Clubs. Pirtle. Just checking on Underdog and see what got updated here in the last however long. By the way, are people enjoying this? Hit that like button for me if you could, because again, it's nice to be able to talk through bets, to be able to give you some process, give you some updates, doing this in real time, 30 before, 30 after. Ben Seraph -130 on BetMGM now. I don't care. Fire it. He should be way north of that. When you're talking 2.5, have you seen his assist rate? I know it's preseason. I know that's not necessarily sticky. I've said that a million times today. I should also probably stop saying sticky, but pretty neutral in terms of offensive defense rating, although I do like seeing the pace up. Look at this. We're getting a guy with a 35% assist rate. Even in 20 minutes as a baseline, you're going to absolutely eat that shit up. It looks so good to me. Projects out really, really well. I got some stuff on the back end. I also have my iPad going. So we've got multiple facets to be able to kind of handle the news as we're updating it here. I want to see if we updated anything in terms of his minutes. Because it's range of outcomes, and we're trying to like identify somebody who phenomenal. Also, my guy DK DFS tweeting out over on the streets, giving the people very nice information. And Seraph, Harris Levert available to play, we kind of knew that. Jaylen Brown available to play, kind of knew that. Doesn't make my Sam Hauser feel any better or worse. It's kind of neutral, kind of what I was expecting for the most part. But let's talk about Boston quick, because Philly and Boston, how many minutes do we have Joel Embiid for? I've toggled with his minutes so many times today, it actually hurts my brain. We're very conservative with his minutes, as I think we should be, but even still, the usage is out of control. His assist rate's been up in the preseason, which, again, I don't think is all that sticky, because I think Joel Embiid's one of those guys who might just flip the switch once things start going to operational Death Star mode, and we'll see a little bit different. Suggs 8.5 points. Be very curious to see what his minutes are as well. We have a very conservative minutes projection on his. He's coming back from a major injury, and he was questionable coming into today. We have him for just 20 minutes, 9.1 points. You could say, oh, Eric, that's higher, but it all has to do with price and probability and what we see his usage being. We haven't seen Jalen Suggs play basketball for a very, very, very long time, and seeing -130, you have to beat that 58% of the time, 60% of the time to break even. So, like, I guess, no, you'd be making money in the 60% realm, but 58% of the time, you just really are on thin margins there. Even at 9.5, I think it looks pretty efficient for what it's worth. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful to you. Taking Seraph plus 630 on. I love that. I love the idea of even laddering him. If you're watching this right now, what the Sticky Bandits? What are you talking about, Moth? No black screen. Yeah, you were lied. You were lied to. Alrighty. Hey, we're at lock of the NBA DFS slate. So if you're jumping over here from Stochastic, welcome. I'm Lindy. You probably know me from over there, so hit that like button for me so I can keep doing this. I really like the idea of doing this and being more helpful to you in the moment than me necessarily just always doing NBA Lindy's or, just always doing NBA Live before lock where I can't necessarily help you with the bets. Oh, I saw somebody yelling from the rooftop. Cavs or Knicks? If you made me, Cavs, but I'm not going to play it. It's pretty efficient. Mark Williams on a minutes restriction. I think most people are on a minutes restriction to start off the season. Mark Williams, we know he can go out and get yourself a rebound or two. You want to be early to these kind of pieces on new teams in Phoenix, but 22.6 minutes is definitely a minutes restriction that we have projected for. Some of his baseline stuff, I looked at it last night because I'll let you in on a little cheat code. I do think rebound props tend to be very, very over-exaggerated and I'm always looking to short them. And we will definitely find some shorts in the marketplace. Even at 8.5, plus 101 up Profit X, I think that is a very, very intriguing number because, well, we haven't projected for 7.4. Again, that's like your dead median outcome, or mean outcome, I should be careful. Median's going to come in a little bit lower. So while we haven't projected for 7.4, I would put his median probably in that 7.2 range. Probably going to be somebody that I think is an advantageous bet. I'm not going to place it today purely because I think these minutes are extremely volatile. I'm not going to act like I know because I really, really don't on Mark Williams. I've already taken the Saric stance on the other side of it, so I would prefer Mark Williams to be on a minutes restriction. Not that it's negatively correlated to my bet, but I do find it to be one of those spots where we can definitely take advantage. We got the exact starting lineup we were expecting for the Boston Celtics, so let me refresh Underdog here for us. God, this Seraph 6 plus 630. If I'm right about this guy, again, I went and watched YouTube clips of this guy playing in, I think it was in Jerusalem. I think he was playing in Israel. He was playing in Jerusalem where I watched him play ball. He's definitely there. Quick recap of the show bets. I got you. These are all the Lindy's bets. So the only one that we've placed here currently on this show is the Ben Seraph one. And I'll be able to go like a couple minutes over. I have no problem hanging out with you fine folks for another 27 minutes walking through some bets. But specifically, let's go over to the VIP. Yeah, you know me. This is all of my stuff over at Tails, which, by the way, Lindy NBA, haven't even brought that up yet because I'm such an interesting individual. Also, there's so much news coming in. I'm just reacting in the moment constantly here. And let me pull up. Why does it say college football bet? That's not what it's supposed to say. Whoop. There we go. Like I was doing college football bets this entire time. What are we doing? Yeah, there you go. Lindy NBA, you're looking at jumping on in. $20. Again, you can watch me do this for 30 minutes, for 30 minutes, for 3 hours in the premium Discord and get all of the things that we're updating for in real time. But I can help you the most in there because, well, this is like an hour of this hanging out. Misbetting and playing DFS, Division 2 and Division 3 need to get their act together. Yeah, that's good. We love you, host. Joseph Ramirez is one of the good ones. Again, I know these names. I know everybody's names that comes in and kicks it here on the daily. We got quickly Barrett, Ingram, Barnes. So we're starting to get a lot of starting lineups. Just to repeat, Celtics, Pritchard, White, Brown, Hauser, Queta. That's exactly what was projected just about everywhere. We've got ourselves quickly Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, Pirtle. Projected correctly just about everywhere. I do think, again, kind of ahead of the curve. If there wasn't some uncertainty with the books right from the get-go, they would have had Ben Seraph there. By the way, I think we're going to get some major closing line value on this Benjamin character. Also, it could be Sharaf. Did we take the props down already? Uh-oh. Oh, no, that game went live. That's what it is, right? Game went live? Yeah, game went live. All right. Let's pull up some Gamecast here, too, while we're at it. Get ourselves some flip Philadelphia. All right, let's start going through some more of these beautiful things. Dominic Barlow is starting there for the Philadelphia 76ers. What a time to be alive. Dude, DK was plus 154. Now it's plus 116 for Ben. You're welcome. I know what I'm doing. I know it seems like I don't because I'm very loud and irrational. Oh, sorry. I'll take this off the screen now. There we go. Back to Lindy's leans like stuff. Lindy's leans like stuff. We're hanging out. We're doing the dance, feeling the flow. This is once again NBA Lindy's Live, NBA betting. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. This was a lot of fun to be able to work through the process of some of these bets with you. Guys, it's not that hard. It's simply just putting in the work. And people don't want to put in the work to research these guys ahead of time. I knew what I was waiting for. I've been waiting for his props all the live long day. You don't have a 35% assist rate in 20-minute sample sizes unless they expect you to pass the damn basketball. That's how this works. You learn unfamiliar people, you bet them, and you're going to move the market. We're moving the market as we go because that is just an abhorrent assist. Also, Cam Thomas had a 24.3% assist rate in 24.6 minutes. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Cam Thomas is not going to be creating for this Brooklyn team, or I will actually lose my mind, even though it's kind of live against Charlotte. Look at his assist rate last year. He's dinged up a lot of the year for what it's worth. Look at this assist rate. Way down, 21.9%. So a little bit lower there, but I'm assuming when you take Schroeder, you take Simmons, you take Russell, none of them are playing for the Brooklyn Nets anymore. Like, I get it. That's why Cam Thomas is going to come up a little bit, and that's why his baseline set a little bit higher, and that's why it's at the 24% number. But overall, this was the guy that we wanted to bet. This is stickier than you would think. And 2.2 assists to turnover ratio, that's why he's starting over, I think, the better prospect in Igor. But Igor's going to take some time. And Saric is like NBA ready. Like, he can handle a basketball, bring it up the court, and be set to go. Any season plays. This is the first year I can remember in forever where I didn't fire a future, period. In the NBA, I did not fire a single future. And I was in the Denver airport for like 2 hours yesterday. Didn't see anything. Don't forget the Devin Booker says, dude, this Devin Booker thing is driving me nuts. I love you, Lindy. I love you, Badera Fall. I love you so much, Lindy. I love you, Williams Frog. You're a lovely individual. You're very lovely. Battered Sharaf from 4+, 7+. Ball is not a plus defender, reporter to jacking of threes. Yeah, that's kind of the entire deal. Because if you look at the Charlotte team, they're not constructed to do jack diddly squat on the defensive end. And last season, they played pretty slow, but I think we kind of all expect them to be playing up in pace with a healthy LaMelo Ball for however long that lasts. I don't know. But you get Kneippel, you get Kalkbrenner in there, you get a number of these other people. Kalkbrenner is not starting for what it's worth. That's silly that he's even listed there. Oh, he is starting. Oh, there you go. That escalated quick. That escalated very quickly. Not going to get much done. That's going to be pretty darn efficient. Didn't expect it to. What did you guys play for season one? Reed Shepherd, most improved, and most made threes. I don't mind those two. The one that I stared at for a long time was Luka Doncic MVP. I stared at 25-1, 30-1 Dallas Mavericks, but I feel like I missed the boat on that one. And I feel like so many sharp people I knew got value on betting Dallas before the NBA draft, and I just feel like I missed the boat. Diabate isn't starting. No, he is not. Hopefully you did not play him in DFS. Grimes over 12.5 ladder once or twice. He's starting and all he wants to do is shoot and get out there. It's not starting. Right? And Grimes is coming off the bench. Hopefully you saw that. That'd be very, very helpful. Don't do it. Audio is low. It shouldn't be. Yeah, that's going to be really, really fun. Lindy, you rock. You guys are so nice. Wish everybody was this nice. That'd be great. Lindy goes live. Start shaking the markets. Yeah, you best believe it. We're going to do this live. All right, let's talk about the dumbest thing ever, which is the assist rate And the only thing that keeps me from not betting the under is sharp people that I respect, believing that this is somewhat sticky. I hate that word. All right. So preseason assist rate. Jared Butler played 21 minutes a game. We saw Jared Butler a lot in Philadelphia. Whatever. He's not going to play a ton. There's preseason stuff. Devin Booker, 32.1% assist rate. And in terms of minutes projected on today's game, Devin Booker, we're still waiting on the Phoenix Suns to get some pieces back here. Go to the Phoenix side, specifically Jalen Green. I guess it's the only piece now, but Jalen Green is going to influence Devin Booker big time. We know that. Pushing. Ryan Dunn, Dylan Brooks, 4 threes, Grayson Allen, every three. This is basically a team predicated on spacing, and I would say defense, but outside of Dylan Brooks, it doesn't look all that defensively minded. Royce O'Neal off the bench is interesting. Iguodala is still somewhat interesting to me as a person in the world, but Sacramento, I think this spread is just a little bit too wide for it. But check this out. For 8.1 assists. I'm not there. Like, I can't get on the Devin Booker train right now with anything that I'm looking at. 7.5 minus 132, minus 142. They're just begging you to bet this. And a lot of people have bet this, obviously. I've seen his double-double just get nuked. We can just assume, like, if you put a fair line on like 10 plus points, it's like minus 10,000, like some of those LeBron props that we saw last season. So for all intents and purposes, you're drawing to like the smallest of small squares in the rebound department. But in terms of double-double, plus 197 now at Novik, plus 190 at FanDuel. I know it's only 8, 9, 10. 2 rungs to go up, Eric, but I don't love it whatsoever. It's just screaming under to me. We haven't projected for a lot of minutes for what it's worth, and they're going to need him to play a lot of minutes. They're pretty short in terms of what that backcourt is, but I just don't see it. He can create for these other guys, and Grayson Allen had a terrible shooting year last year. The year before, he had electric woogie shooting year. He's going to be pick and rolling with Mark Williams. What? Like, what are we doing? I just don't love it whatsoever. So it's not going to be one of my major spots. $2 and $2.49 in euro from Vasco Fernandez. Absolutely love it. What's the projection for Ninius data? Great question. Obviously, I'm just going to hit the refresh button in case anything got updated. We're updating throughout the night, both in DFS lanes, everywhere. Across the board, we're updating everything throughout the night. We'll count for news. We have the starting lineup there, exactly what was projected there for the Boston Celtics, but 6.7 rebounds. I saw 6.5 was kind of his prevailing number. Do you know how many props I've looked at today? It's actually disturbing. But off the top of my head, I know it's 6.5 for Ninius data. It's disturbing how much I do this in my life. Yeah. Pretty efficient. Pretty tough for me to get after anything on any side of this one. Prize picks, underdog, please stay away like the flag. Also, understand what the multipliers are doing here in some of these spots. You just really, really, really want to take a second and get away from that. So, absolute farce. Not even going to touch that one. The juice. I'm not touching that assist line for Book. He's going to be shooting a lot. That's what I keep getting at. Is like, I think you can have a 32% assist rate during the preseason, and then come the show, look at this. You think he's going to have a 30% assist rate? Or sorry, a 30% usage rate? That assist rate has to go up, friends. There's just no way around it. No way around it. Hopefully that projection helped you for something, Vasco Fernandez. This is good stuff, much appreciated. You are much appreciated. I can't wait to do this more with you guys, purely because I've been dreaming about it, thinking about it. I know what I'm capable of doing and helping you. Yeah, we got one play from this so far, but that one play could be a massive difference between a profitable night, a not profitable night. It could be a difference between a bet that you're able to make later or a bet that you're not able to make later. And those are the things I'm always thinking of. I'm betting a lot of different bets. I'm finding people to tail as well in sports like NHL, which obviously I don't provide any information for. I just tail what I believe the best for the best are. And that's where you can go to tails. Go to tails.bet/Lindy. There's also this amazing app. It is truly an amazing app. If you go to the App Store over iTunes or whatever they call it now, that's the App Store on your phone, Google Play, I know as well. You download the app, and you can get all of this updated for you. We have the leaderboards rocking for the people. Fantasy Grind, my guy. Jeff Ulrich, one of the sharpest golf bettors that exists. So, of course, he's just smashing the NHL game. And Shander Betts, did you know? Shander Betts is in my Discord. He's been the second most profitable bettor over at Tails this week. I've been tailing him, thank God. Obviously, my guy Locke. All free plays over there. Greg Ehrenberg. I don't even know who Jay Parlay is, but I'm going to follow him. His he needs to get some love. He's up 14.7 units. I'm very happy with that. I was up like 6.5 units last week for me. Cool. Find ourselves some other stuff. Grimes 19.5 PRA. The Grimes thing is really hard for me to get behind, purely because I don't know what to make of the minutes off the bench. And I don't know what to make of the minutes of Embiid. And Embiid has such a trickle-down effect to everybody. I'm quite positive that Quentin Grimes is going to come out and chalk. I brought that up. Somebody brought that up earlier here. Manuel Classe News. Why is that showing up in my life? But I very much want you to be checking out how many minutes do you think is the push and pull effect of Joel Embiid playing more means everybody else is going to be completely affected. The effect of Joel Embiid playing less is everybody else is going to be completely affected. But we're going to see somebody affected some way. So 28 minutes, that's where we've got the baseline for him. Kind of makes everything on that side of the fence pretty unappealing. You'll see in my spreadsheets, we start showing more and more here on the program. We're going to have a lot of opportunities to, hook you up, find you some goodies. You'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll pull some graphs and some range of output stuff on ChatGPT as well, because we utilize it hand in hand with a lot of what I do today. It's very, very helpful. Does the math for me. I don't have to go and do it by hand like 1994 or like what I got a Texas Instrument calculator pressing next to me. See big things. Good story. All right, let's find another bet. We got Ben Sterling. I'm going to find another bet right now. We got 11 minutes left in the program. I'll probably go a couple over as well. Whoa. Nice. But I love it. I love that for you. I love that for you. I tied that. I don't know why Cavaliers versus Knicks line is showing up in our line, but here we are. Good stuff. All right. There are two bets that I've kind of had starred, highlighted, circled that I do want to bet at some point in time. I talked about him a lot on the show last night for something that didn't end up on anything of yet. I thought our baseline was a little bit low for Ayo Dosunmu. Minutes, 13.2, 4.5, 3. So 7.5, we're talking just north of that 20 number. And you go up here to Ayo. Josh Giddey went the nuclear. Mark Williams expected to play between 20 and 24 minutes. That is exactly where we had him lined up at. That 22-minute number. I don't think Nate Hardy is very happy about that. All right. Surf assist right away. That foul off my screen. But hey, an assist in the first 5 minutes of the game. What is that doing? Ooh, we got starting lineup alert. Different than what I had. Holy shit. Utah. What the fuck have you done? Look at Utah. What is this starting lineup? All right. Let me jump on prediction markets and get some money down right now. You wanted to know, the Jazz are starting Monty George, Stu Mikhailuk, Lauri Markkanen, Kyle Filipowski, and Walker Kessler. That doesn't say Ace Bailey. He's going to play enough where he's just annoying to me. He's just annoying. Oh. He's going to be off the UK. We're not even going to deal with that. We're going to look at Profit X. 17.5. Minus 1.5. That's not really worth it here. I can tell you that right from the jump. I doubt there's even a Kyle Filipowski has to have a top. He's got to have something over at no big or Profit X. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, BetMGM, he's off the board. That was very quick. Prize Picks, he's out there. He's out of Prize Picks. Play him on Prize Picks immediately. Kyle Filipowski is about to look really, really nice tonight. Kyle Filipowski is this offensively forward big. He can play the 4, play the 5, but obviously he's starting next to Kessler. They're playing Markkanen at 3. This is a really big starting lineup for Utah. And Kyle Filipowski is going to go for 19 and change. I mean, I would be on anything over at the exchange right now if I could get it down, but I'm obviously doing this right now. Ben to assist. Ben to assist already. My friend, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? That is 3. Cash it. Cash it on this program. Let's go! Spam the chat! Spam the chat! Come on, baby! Give me some love over on X while you're at it. Let's go! What do you want from me? What do you want? Did they take the assist away? Was that his second? Or was that his third? Give me his third. Put the third in the column. Put the third in the column. Put the lotion on the skin. The lotion goes on the skin. And Sarah's shooting foul, but that's an assist. That's an assist. All right, he's at 2. Hasn't cashed it yet. Hasn't cashed it yet. Yeah. This is why you're here. Big stick, Ben. 3 assists. There it is. Updated. I chug a Diet Coke and smash it on my head. Didn't work. But I have another Diet Coke. You want to know why we do this program? Why I want to do this program? This right here. We found a bet. We bet it. We waited. I knew I could help you. I can't do that on NBA Lindy's. This is what I'm good at. This is what I do. Ace Bailey limited. Bet Ace Bailey unders immediately. Ace Bailey. I'm going to get him on the exchange immediately. Bet his unders immediately. Onyx odds? Onyx odds. Let's see if we can get it down. Let's see if we can get this down while we are on this program. Onyx odds. Go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, gadget. Betting. Go. Go, go, go. Let's make more money. Under. Ace Bailey. Limited to 15 minutes? 15 minutes? Oh, they had to have taken the starting lineups off the board. Yep. But you know what? Here's what we probably do. So if you do the push and pull effect of minutes, and this is kind of where this comes in again, and we can kind of go through this. Ace Bailey, let's pull up the entire Utah Jazz. All right. So right now, here's the backcourt situation. Ace Bailey, 28 minutes, that's going to plummet. 15 minutes is the high point. Walter Clayton, that bet looks incredible now. Walter Clayton's the guy you want more money on. I think Keontae George is probably pretty solidified in his minutes too. Not that I think there's anything I can really do with it. Yeah, East Bailey just got nuked. The unders coming off of not starting. Keontae George, extremely vig heavy. And you know what? I like this actually. I'm going to bet this over on no vig. Come join me. I'm only going to get a quarter down on it probably, but I got to wait and actually get that tracked. So we'll do that. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, George. Oh, man, that Walter Clayton one looks really good now. All right, it's plus 118 over at no vig now. I'm going to bet that. I'm just going to put $25 on it. All right, jump in, get some liquidity down with me. Plus 117. Somebody literally just beat me to the snipe. Mobley 3. Ladies locks from last season. Oh, Evan Mobley props were out of control good, and we'll be able to do some of that. Or do you know with 18.5 with 17.5 even on who is it? Which one? Let's go, Lindy. Let's go indeed, Victor Reznov. Let's go indeed. Also, is that a that's cool avatar. Let's make the changes up. Yeah, Rip Filipowski on Prize Picks. That's blue. We got to be reactionary. That's what we got to do. Hello, Mr. Lincoln. Hello, Tribe We Men. Did I say that correctly? Tribe We Men. One of my buddies is named Minshew Wen. Absolutely. I know Min is definitely last name. Big Stick Ben Assist. Guys, this is a first half cash of epic proportion. I'm going to spam the chat. And now they bring in Demon. And guess what? We already won a bet. We won the first bet in less than 30 minutes on this program. And I'm just so happy. Let's check in on Pat and see how he's living his life because he's got to know. We have Trey Jameson in the first rotation? No way. Oh, that's bad news. Also, Huck Porty starting over Yabusele should be like a fireable offense for Brown, and he's like coached 8 minutes of a game. Yabusele, French. Oui, oui, je m'appelle Lafayette. Mine's pulled on Bovada. Yeah, Bovada will fly, Aiden. Bovada is just one of those that they're a sharper book than most. I will give them some kind of credit, but you get some really nice plus money ladders and stuff like that. Lindy, Adam Bona. Take a look at him. I got Bona. I don't think I want to get that. I just think Embiid could play a lot more than people are thinking. He could also play a lot less than people are thinking, and then you're just sitting there with the perfect projection, and you could guess, but I'm not in the business of guessing. I'm in the business of data. Again, you want to know data? Data is this. Doing something people aren't doing, which is looking at preseason data on a video and actually giving you substance. Prince Gareth. Oh, how about the guy with a 35% assist rate starting, whose job is literally... Did you also see his shooting stats for what it's worth? They're abhorrent. 53% true shooting, 47.5% effective field goal percentage, and they didn't even show his three-point percentage here. Let me show you that. Right? Oh, no. I can't just start with the preseason. They don't want advanced, they want traditional. The preseason. Make it harder for me, why don't you? I think 14.3% from three is not good. It's my opinion. But Adam Booker definitely not going to be there. What do you think about Embiid PRA overs today? If you made me pick, and I had to pick a side, I did play Joel Embiid in my $100 single lineup on DraftKings today. I only played one lineup. I think 35.5 is a pretty low number for what it's worth. Because again, if we see a spike in his assist rate, I think it's at the complete detriment of the usage. So I almost don't want what we saw in the preseason to some extent. I don't think he's going to play that way necessarily. But we have him for just 3.5 assists. So 8, 31.5, 35. Pretty efficient. Again, maybe a slight lean under. But again, I lean to the over because I would think 30 plus is in the range. And obviously, I'm playing him in a single injury lineup. Just look at this interior for Boston. I think they're going to get the shit kicked out of them on the interior. Kada, Hauser, Brown. I think we're going to see some rebounding ladders very, very soon become interesting because like Xavier Tillman and Chris Boucher are going to play behind Hauser and Kada. Baylor Shireman, like, guys, they're going to get bludgeoned on the boards. This is going to be like Oklahoma City Light from 2 years ago before Isaiah Hartenstein showed up there. So there's that. 3-pointers for Embiid. That's kind of an interesting one. He was camping on top of the key. That's kind of what I think about him. 2 plus 3s. Very interesting. Oh. Quarter unit coming in. Oh. You do not have to ask me twice. Play Joel Embiid 3-pointers. You know what? This is why I love it. Now I'm going to be able to get bets from you as well. I'm only going to play it for a quarter again. But boy, is that lovely. That is a lovely little find. Plus 140 at Caesars and FanDuel if you've got it. I'm playing no vig here because I would have to drive 5 minutes across the border to Iowa. I'm not going to do that because I'm on this show. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the casino and I'm going to gamble and I'm going to put a lot of sports bets in. So that's what I'm going to do. Always nice to do it. Got a quarter in on that. So that's tracked. Good. This doesn't take much. Free. Easiest money of the night. Yeah. Oh. Should probably put the link in the Discord, but it's one of those things I wanted to throw in there for the people. And dog, yep. I know we're talking NBA, but 27.5. Here's the thing. If you guys tune in for NBA and you want to talk through this, we can do this for NFL. I can walk through the process. The thing I can do that other people can't do. Some people are just market-based, some people are just director-based, simply, again, market originators are incredible, and I try to be one of them in some capacity, maybe at a lower number than like the couple thousand that get thrown out a day. But my entire life, I've put $50 on this, $100 on this, $50 on this, $200 on this, and now in the last 8 years, I've had a process in place to like accumulate money, and that's what I share with you and do it. You need a new mic though. This has not been plugged in the whole time. Whatever, Ben Sherrick got fucking 3 assists, so you're happy. You will put your Eddie. There we go. It's connected now. Do I sound better? I better sound exponentially better. I can't hear you. You can hear me now. I'm literally going to drop kick my own nuts. Much better. 1,000. J Metal K, my dude. Way better. All right. See, these are good things. All right. Friends, got some bets down for us. Again, we got like another unit allocation. Oh, sound the alert. We've got Trey Jones. We got Josh Giddey. We got Trey Jones. Trey Jones starting. Again, if you're at the exchanges, this is why the exchanges are the future, because you're able to jump on stuff because you're paying attention to news. Books are paying attention to news because they're directly looking for it. Trey Jones over a 3-pointer? What? I mean, obviously we care about Trey Jones passing the basketball. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go now. Oh, yeah, because I took it to traditional for 2 seconds. So I almost always have advanced pulled up because when I scrape data, I'm just literally doing this. Or, God, it defaults to regular season. So annoying because preseason is going to be what I use for the next week. I think it's just a better baseline. You want to accumulate more of it. But Josh Giddey was out of control. Look at his net rating. He was terrible in the preseason. He's just a terrible, not winning basketball player. Trey Jones is pretty neutral in my life. Like, living the life because you got to know. But 26% assist rate. Yeah, if you got on 3.5, that feels good. 4.5 at Profit X. Let's take a look. It's in our book. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow, reading Rainbow. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. We got Trey Jones. Who? Trey Jones. Get Trey Jones up off the low because Trey Jones about to blow. All right, got $25 on that. Just $125 wagered, but we already cashed one of the tickets and I'm already going to be up on this program no matter what. So there you go. Wish I had laddered him. That would have been good. Oh, it didn't go through. Trust me. Always betting.
Get off your phone, Eric. Get off your phone. We're trying to have dinner.
It's not what my wife sounds like, by the way. I love my wife. But she does sound like a gremlin sometimes when she's yelling at me. Alrighty. Guys, we officially got a little bit quarter unit on Trey Jones. Just to recap for everybody, as we get the heck up out of here, let's do it. Expert tools. I'm an expert tool. We got Trey Jones. Trey Jones got a quarter unit down there. Plus 120 over at Profit X. We got Keontae George plus 117 over 6.5 assists. Got a small quarter unit on those. So a little bit smaller allocation. But the big one, friends, Ben Sheriff. Oh, yeah. Joel Embiid ended up getting it in there as well. So past picks, these already are live. So Joel Embiid, Ben Sheriff, go bet this now. That was the biggie. That's the one we needed, and we got it in 6 minutes. Is that good? I think that's pretty good. Everybody, if you could, hit that like button down below. Let the people know that you want to win more money with me and want to walk through process and do the things that I think are important to be able to help you make some money. Oh my God, J Metal K. Also, I know it's never irrelevant because it's League of Legends and it's great. 11 kills for Gen G tonight. Pick 6 play with some assist. All right, we can get down with our eagle on. Now, Mr. Lindy, may I direct your attention to Asar Thompson? I will take a look at this lotion, and it could be a lotion play. Then I put the lotion; it goes on the skin. Get off the phone, Lindy. This is awesome. You're the man. More of this, please. Live show for the World Series. I think we might be able to do that. I think Friday might hanging out with the family. Might have some good times, friends. Alrighty, y'all. But just spam the chat quick if you could. Just let the people know over at my place of employment that this was fun. This was useful to you. You made money betting with me. We did it in the moment. We were able to become the biggest Ben Seraph fans this side of the Mississippi when a joke of a line that I've been waiting for all day finally frickin' dropped. Thanks, Lindy. This is awesome. I love you all. I bid you adieu. Goodbye.